The Navy this morning has begun debriefing the 10 United States sailors who were detained by Iran. Images broadcast on Iranian television show the service members' apparent capture at sea. One admits the crew made a mistake. The sailors were released within hours. David Martin is at the Pentagon. David, good morning.
Good morning. The speedy release of the sailors is being portrayed by the administration as the product of years of painstaking diplomacy with Iran. But critics see the incident as just one more case of Iranian provocation. Although administration officials publicly described it as a rescue at sea, video released by Iran made it look like the American sailors had been captured, forced to kneel with their hands behind their heads, and placed in front of a camera to confess.
It was a mistake. That was our fault, and we apologize for our mistake.
That seemed at odds with Secretary of State Kerry's praise for how the Iranians handled the incident.
I also want to thank the Iranian authorities for their cooperation and quick response. These are always situations which, as everybody here knows, have an ability, if not properly guided, to get out of control.
Both sides agree the two boats accidentally strayed into Iranian territorial waters. Exactly how remains unclear. After being held for 16 hours on Farsi Island in the Persian Gulf, the crew was allowed to get back in their boats and sail out to this American warship. The release came after a series of phone calls between Secretary Kerry and Iran's foreign minister, who had developed a working relationship during the long, drawn-out negotiations in which Iran agreed to suspend its nuclear program in return for relief from economic sanctions. The Iranian foreign minister tweeted he was happy to see dialogue and respect, not threats and impetuousness, swiftly resolve the sailors' episode. But some have been critical of the Obama administration, saying this is less a diplomatic success than a case of Iran having its cake and eating it too.
On the one hand, they're giving the people back in an expeditious manner, which, oh, by the way, they're required under international law to do, and take credit for that. But on the other hand, they release domestic press, which makes it sound like, well, it's the Americans screwing up, it's really their fault.
Iran's desire not to derail the nuclear agreement between the two countries may be what really resolved this. As part of that deal, the U.S. is expected to begin releasing about $100 billion in frozen Iranian assets in the next few days.